listening to 88.7 KWDM The Point, your only source for Tiger sports.
And we're live here on 88.7 KWDM The Point out of West Des Moines, Iowa. We have another Friday Night Lights here at Valley Stadium. As always, I'm Ian Nelson alongside Cole Sunderman. We got a great matchup. The Valley Tigers coming off of a rough loss to Joaquin Northwest at Northwest inside the Den. It was a close one throughout the game. Tigers trailed by 10 all the way up to the ending point where they were able to get a touchdown but unable to pull anything out with a 27-24 loss. Urbandale coming off of a big win against Ames after suffering a heartbreaking loss to DCG in their season opener. That one was a close one against DCG. Urbandale responds with a huge 41-7 victory over the Little Cyclones back at home. Now they're on the road against a very tough Tiger team, and this Tiger team is out for blood, especially coming off talking to some of these players. These guys are ready for a big win and trying to take it against the Jayhawks out of Urbandale.
Well, you know, it's going to be interesting to see how Valley responds from that tough loss, where, to be honest, like, he didn't play very well. You know, throwing 3 picks, you're never going to say that a guy played well. I'm just really interested to see how he can bounce back, and after a performance like that, it's going to be tough. But I do think that this is a good place to bounce back. You know, it's still early in the season. He hasn't really hit his groove yet. But if he can hit that groove, I think Valley has a great chance today.
I agree 100%, and I would really like to see in the Tigers' first offensive drive to come out swinging through the air. Just get DeGroot, get him the confidence that he really needs, especially he struggled against Dowling, who has a really, really good defense, especially when it comes to pass defense, and just really struggled against Northwest, who is showing their size and strength this year. Another thing for Urbandale, they got some really tough guys, although not the best of the teams, they got some really strong contenders. Mainly coming out, number 5, the quarterback who also plays safety, Landon Rinnan, the junior. He finished 8th in offensive yards, returning total with 1,694. Also 6th in rushing yards as a quarterback with 632. This year through the air, he's got 283 in just 2 games, and on the ground, 257 rushing yards. He also has 5 total touchdowns, 4 of those coming through the ground attack. Also, 2 tackles, showing that safety size, standing at a decent 6 foot tall. It's going to see, especially against this really like high amped Valley team, how he will compare, especially when it comes to stamina and stuff, versus Ames and DCG, who don't play at the same amount of level as Valley, Northwest, Dowling, those type of teams coming out of the top level of the CIML. Urbandale sits at the lower level of that CIML conference, with talks of them maybe dropping out in the next couple of years. So that is one thing to look out. But you also have a really strong linebacker tied in at Gabe Blanchard, number 4, who really has shown his size, especially on the defensive side with 21 tackles. And then you also got Levi Chulu, who is a really strong safety alongside the other ones, including the quarterback out of Landon Rinnan, who has 7 tackles and 1 tackle for loss.
I mean, and you mentioned Rinnan, like, he can really run, and it's going to be interesting how this defense is able to respond, because they haven't had the run defense has really struggled at the start of this year, and Rinnan, he is primarily a runner. Like, he's run for essentially the same amount of yards as he's passed, and it's going to be interesting because Rinnan, he has passed for 13 for 27, less than 50%. He's completed less than 50% of his passes. So if Valley can make him throw the ball and really contain him in the pocket as much as they can, like, they're not going to contain him every play, but if they can contain him, I don't know, 80% of the time, and not let him break off those big plays that you can see from a guy like that, then they'll have a great chance in this football game.
Yeah, that was my key to the game for Valley, is to contain the run. Don't let Rinnan get out of the pocket, because once he gets out of the pocket, it's some scary business. He's
dangerous, for sure.
Yeah, very dangerous. He has roughly the same amount of rushing yards as he does passing. It's 238 to 257. More of those coming out of the air, which is what you expect from the quarterback, but having just as much on the ground, it's a very scary situation. In this Valley defense, like you mentioned, who has struggled to contain the run, let Northwest rush for 237. 208 of them came from a single guy, Northwest running back. I would really like to see this Valley team play, especially defensively wise, like they did against Dowling, who only rushed for 34 yards, 16 attempts, 34 rushing yards, and a lot of those came from the quarterback, and a lot of those were also taken away because of sacks late into the game. I would really like to see this Valley defense start to amp up the pressure early. Don't get complacent early and allow Rinnan to get comfortable. Don't let him be able to start rushing, get that groove of thinking, oh, I can find this hole and get through out of the pocket. I would really like to see Valley start with some blitzes early, because once you can make sure that he is not in the groove of things, once you get him uncomfortable, it will be a really easy game the rest of the way. For Urbandale, one of their key to the games is to make DeGroot uncomfortable, and we saw that with Northwest. Northwest got DeGroot uncomfortable, made him throw not good shots, made him throw to the not open receiver, and that caused him to throw 3 interceptions. So both of these teams, I think their main key of the game is defense. They have really strong offenses on both sides of the play. I just really think it's going to come down to a defensive game, which has been Valley's strength in the past couple of years.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned that run game. Like, that's the game right there. If they can stop the run, I feel really confident in this team. But on the offensive end, like you mentioned, like Urbandale's key to the game is make DeGroot uncomfortable. When I was kind of making my keys for Valley on my side here, my exact words were for Valley to get DeGroot comfortable, the exact opposite of what Urbandale wants. So I really see them leaning on Dornkamp, who's been the leading receiver on the offensive end.
Yeah, and now just as we start to hit kickoff, Urbandale wins the toss and the first, so they will kick off first. The kick comes from Hunter Markla, recovered early at the 25. Very little return, only about 2, I would say. The return comes from number 2, Trent Grevengood. So Grevengood, who also punts for the Tigers, starting to show some of his necessity on this offense. Cole, what do you think the Tigers need to do starting out on this first offensive drive?
Well, I think just using the short game. It's not fun. I don't like it. Fans don't like it. But it's going to be what they have to do to get Drew comfortable. He hasn't felt comfortable in these first couple games. And Dornkamp is really going to have to be what Valley really needs to get going in this game.
All right, so DeGroot now starts it off with a handoff to Dornkamp. Dornkamp showing that speed early. Number 4 for Blake Dornkamp. The junior gets about 9.
They gave him the first down.
And they actually say with a generous spot.
Yeah.
I would say about half an inch maybe short, but they give him the first down. So a great play on the opening, just trusting Blake Dornkamp, getting the rush started early, and just trying to make this defense tired early to make the rest of the game easy. 3 wide to the right, 1 to the left, a handoff to Dornkamp. Dornkamp makes one man miss, goes right into another one, and taken down right before the 40-yard line. So Tigers really starting, like you said, start with the slow game, get the rush going, let Blake Dornkamp, the leading rusher, get comfortable. They spotted at the 39, so we get up at a 2nd and 6. No score on the ball game as this one just started with a minute just winding off the clock with 11 on. Tigers go 4 to the left, 1 to the right, operating left to right. 2 men in the backfield, Dorenkamp and DeGroot. DeGroot now, short pass completed, and he's got a man. That's Jaden Brown. Jaden Brown, who struggled to get reception, has just been off on his game these past couple of ones with very limited receptions and very limited yards. Finally getting to the game early. We didn't see him at all in the Dowling game until the fourth quarter. So now to get him going in the first quarter, get a first down is a great way to go for this Tiger offense. Now inside Jayhawk territory at the 49, 1st and 10. 2 to the right, 1 to the left. Handoff to Dorenkamp. Dorenkamp moving and finally taken down. It takes 4 Jayhawks, but not before he can move the chains and get another first down for the Tigers.
Well, I mean, this is exactly what the doctor ordered to start this. Dorenkamp, he's had some big holes. He's run over some dudes. And that, 6-yard-ish, just little pitch and catch to Jaden Brown. That'll get Brown going, just an easy play. That'll get DeGroot going, build up his confidence. This has been just a great start for the offense.
A textbook start for the Tigers. 3 to the left, 1 man in motion now, moving to the right side. So 2 to the right, another motion, and that's Brown to the right side. He's got some speed down the middle of the field. Caught for a first down. That's going to be a gain of 20 yards, taken down at just about the 10-yard line. Way to flip the second half of the field. So it's going to be another first down for the Tigers. Now inside the goal line. 9:34 on this clock. No score inside the first quarter. Tigers moving inside. The ball is officially spotted on the 12-yard line. So they're really starting to move, and I really like that throw from DeGroot, getting his confidence building up. Just make sure he's got that arm, not scared to throw the ball. So 1 man in the backfield alongside DeGroot. It's a motion. Handed off to Dorenkamp, and he gets a couple. Some late contact, but nothing called. Dorenkamp taken down at about the 7-yard line. So it'll be about a 2nd and 5.
Well, I mean, they've just been getting chunk after chunk after chunk, and if they can keep that up, I feel really good about this game here.
I agree 100%. You just got to make sure for this Urbandale team to not let those chunk plays continue. And Valley really wants to keep that going, especially inside the 10-yard line at the 7. 2nd and 5. Dorenkamp in the backfield. Man in motion behind, but Dorenkamp gets it off. He's moving forward at the goal line. Jayhawks finally can wrap it up right at about the half-inch 1-yard line. We'll see where they spot it officially.
Right at the 2. It is a first down, though, so that is big. First and goal from the 2. That
was one of the keys for Valley. They didn't need to score. They just need to get the first down, and that is detrimental for Urbandale because now you get the Tigers pretty much 4 more plays. Even though it's early, you're inside such a range that it might be 4-down territory, and it's 1st and 2 on the 2-yard line. No men to the left, 2 on the right. Dorenkamp right behind DeGroot. And it's a handoff, touchdown, Tigers. Get it early. What a score for Valley.
And he went in untouched. And that's been the story of this drive. There's just been huge holes up the middle. And if they can get this just ground and pound, you're getting, the shortest gain was a 5-yard gain. And that is just a great sign for things to come early here.
So Dorenkamp gets in, the junior who's really making his presence known in his first year on varsity. Gets the touchdown early. 7:53 left in this first quarter of play. Just under 4 minutes gone. Tigers up 6-0 with the extra point on its way. Conley Harn, also a junior who's been kicking for the Tigers since last year, subbing in for Christian Hesser and Fratiani Seppi. And the extra point is good. 7-0 Tigers lead early in this ball game.
I mean, that was just beautiful. Just a quick 4-minute drive. When you're running the ball like that, even a 4-minute drive feels like forever for the defense, just because you don't feel like you can do anything. You feel helpless. And they're gonna have to start if Valley can keep this up. They're gonna have to start bringing guys in, and when those safeties come down, you can get guys over the top. And even you saw that throw up the seam to Jaden Brown for about a 25-yard gain. Like there was just a huge hole there, and that's just perfect.
Yeah, it was a great design out of the coaching staff. Brown, who motioned from the left side to the right. He goes from the left side to the right, and just with that extra momentum because of the motion, sprints down the field and beats the man. The throw was a little bit behind him, but he was able to catch it in right behind his. It was a back shoulder catch, so unable to catch it in stride and keep moving, but it was a nice pickup of 20. Now Tigers to kick it off. Harn boots it, and that's a great kick. Ball down at the 5, finally picked up, and Tigers respond, slipped up, and he's taken down at the 20. It might have been better to let the ball roll out, because that way nobody gets hit, because no matter what, in high school football, the ball starts at the 20-yard line after a touchback.
Well, I think there might have been a penalty or something. They were kicking off from the 25, so not what you want to see, but it was a beautiful kick, just a low-line driver, and just dribbled all the way down to the 5. And I think that if he would have let that one go, that would have stayed in play. So that was kind of his only decision right there.
Either way, the Urbandale Jayhawks take the field offensively for the first time, and we'll see how Landon Rinnan and his offensive group can respond. Rinnan drops back, has to throw, it's batted. Almost picked off. That is not how you want to start the drive if you're the Jayhawks. He steps back, can't really find anything. It really looked like it was a botched play from the start. Just try to get rid of it, and it was tipped right out of his hand. And luckily for the Jayhawks, no Tigers were around to catch it.
Well, I'm surprised that they started out with a pass. Their strength is running. The Valley defense's weakness is the run. So that's a questionable play call right there.
3 to the left, 2 to the right, one man in motion. It's a fake handoff, and Rinnan tackled down early for no gain. It was a fake handoff, the play action. He tried to get out to the left side of the field and unable to do so, just taken down early. The Jayhawks moving from right to left. They need a really big pickup. It's 3rd and long, 7:18 winding down in this first quarter. Tigers lead 7-0. Ball is on the 20-yard line of their own territory. The Jayhawks need something. One man out wide on the right side of the field, one man out wide on the left side, 3 in the backfield for Urbandale. Hand it off. It's a fake handoff. Rinnan trying to find something, and again taken down right at the line of scrimmage. So a great start for this Valley defense. A 3 and out for the Tigers. And the Jayhawks, that is not how you want to start the ball game. Just 3 rushes. Well, it was 2 rushes, incomplete pass because of the tipped, and all the rushes were taken down right at the line of scrimmage. They will give Rinnan 1 yard on that play, so it will be a 4th and 9, and the Jayhawks will have to punt.
Short punt.
It is a short punt. Bounced, and that's Trent Grevengood. He's got space. Goes from the right side to the left. He's got space. One man to beat. Blockers. And he's running. Touchdown, Tigers. What a play for that defense. Trent Grevengood, but oh, there's laundry on the field. I'm afraid this one's coming back for a legal block in the back or something. That is unfortunate to see. Trent Grevengood caught it at the 40 and made a mad dash to the opposite side, the left side of the field at the 50, and then finally broke 3 with blockers.
Man, that hurts. That's a big break for Urbandale, because that would get them up. That would get Valley up 2 possessions early in this game. We don't have a call yet.
But the chain gang is moving back. to the spot of the foul. So the ball is placed at the 42. So pretty much the Tigers will start right where Trent Grevengood picked up the ball before he inevitably made it into the end zone. But the refs call foul play. And so we play on inside Tiger territory at the 42-yard line. And now we'll see how the Tigers will respond, one after that punt, but also getting great field position because of the 3 and out. DeGroot hands it off, and the handoff was to number 28, Colton Shelton. Colton, who is a senior, taking some snaps to just give Blake Dornkamp, who has been the main rusher for these last 2 weeks, give him some breathing room.
Well, I mean, Urbandale has to prove that they can stop the run, and that was Valley's shortest run of the game for only 2 yards, but I'm not concerned. I mean, even just something short out of the backfield, that's just essentially a run, but it opens up the defense a little bit.
And now moving from left to right, 3 men in the right, 1 to the left. Colin, and that is what caught right in the middle, breaks the tackle, he's got space, touchdown Tigers. Braden Schobert, the junior tight end for Valley. What a great pitch and catch, was wide open in the middle of the field, 10 yards down. Drake DeGroot puts it right on top of him in stride. Braden almost gets taken down inside the 10-yard line, shoves the man off of him, and gets in the end zone. So despite the flag on the play on the punt return, it's another big play, and this time it is confirmed. A touchdown for the Tigers early in this first quarter, trying to make up for lost time after the Northwest loss. So Tigers up 13-0, 5:06. The extra point by Harn is good. Make it 14-0. Tigers lead Urbandale, 5:06 left in the first quarter.
I mean, that was just another short, easy throw. I mean, he was just completely unaccounted for. He was wide open. He didn't get touched until he got chased down at the 10-yard line and then broke the tackle. So DeGroot's had some easy throws, and I just love to see it.
I agree, and I really like how the offensive coordinators are handling this. They can tell Urbandale's leaving the middle of the field open. It's wide open every pass play. There's only been like 2 or 3 of them, and every time it's because the middle of the field is wide open, and it gives their receivers time to signal to DeGroot, hey, I'm open. He gets it right into their hands, and Schobert just showed it right there. He's got the speed. Although he is 6'1", 220, I could not tell that man was speeding. So now the Tigers to kick it off. Harn having to do a little bit much, just having to go from extra point to kickoff to extra point to kickoff in a span of 7 minutes. It's a deep kick, caught at the 2-yard line. They will return it, and he's taken down early. Hit at the 12-yard line. Finally brought down at the 10, but because of forward progress, they'll get the ball down at about the 13-yard line.
That was a beautifully placed kick. He just kind of sticks him right in the corner at the 2-yard line, just right at that pylon, and he didn't have a choice, and there were guys bearing down on him, and that out-of-bounds line just worked as another defender, so he was just kind of stuck.
Yeah, this Valley defense, like we mentioned at the start of the broadcast, is playing like there's blood in the water because they have been ferocious on this defensive side, rushing down off of the kick and tackling them early. So now we'll see how the Jayhawks can respond. It's a fake handoff by Rinnan, breaks one tackle, makes a man slip, but unable to do anything else, and it looks like he might be taken down for a loss of 1 or 2, taken down at about the 12, 11-yard line. So not what you want to do for Rinnan, who's only been able to go forward once and backwards twice. So an official spot of, they'll say he made it back to the line of scrimmage, but moves the ball back about half an inch. So 2nd and 10, more like 2nd and 11, 14-0. Tigers lead, hit early, and that will be a loss of 3. Tigers take down Rinnan in the backfield. This Urbandale team, they've been trying to do the play actions all day. Rinnan kept it again, but the Tigers read it perfectly and takes him down at the 10-11 yard line where they officially spot it. So another 3rd and long for this Urbandale offense, 3rd and 12. Tigers lead by 14, 3:57 running down on the clock in this first quarter of play. And that's the main thing. There's a whole 3 quarters left, and this Tiger team has already made it their own. So Rinnan with 2-2 and 1 man alongside him. He finds a hole, tries to find something, now finally gets out, taken up, and only able to get back to the original line of scrimmage. So making it a 4th and 10 and bringing back the punt team.
I mean, they just, on that play, they just sent 4, just dropped everyone back, and just a soft little coverage there. They knew if he scrambles, it's going to be really hard because there's so many guys dropped back that if he does scramble, he's probably not going to get very far. So that was well done on that 3rd and long.
And now Urbandale brings out the best punter in 5A football, Hunter Markla, who led last year in punt yardage, which I don't know is really a stat you want to celebrate. It just kind of means your team punted a lot. But we'll see the leg.
Short again.
It's another short line drive, taking up a botch. And let's see how he responds. He's got some speed, able to get back, but that is not how Jaden Brown wanted to recover him. It just bounced up. It was a wonky bounce, hit him in the hand, then hit him on the shoulder, and able to not move very far and keeps the ball and is able to get about 7-8 yards on the return. So Tigers will start in great field position inside Jayhawk territory at the 42-yard line.
Well, those low line drive punts, they can get scary. Like, he hasn't had, the 2 punts that he's had haven't been great, but they've had, you know, great bounces, and that's what those low line drives do, and they're really hard to pick up, and saw that right there.
So now Valley starts with their 3rd drive. Both times have ended in a touchdown. The Tigers would like to do it again. DeGroot, 3 to the right, makes a man motion. It's a pitch and catch. That's Shaden McGregor. He's got space. Makes 1 man miss. He's on the right side, down the sideline. 10, 5, and can't get in the end zone. Tries to dive for it, but 3 Urbandale Jayhawks get to him first. Taken down. Let's see where they spot it. They'll give it to him at the 3-yard line. So Tigers inside the red zone early after that pitch and catch. McGregory was the only man lined up on the left side of the field. He gets motion right in front of DeGroot. DeGroot gets the snap, pitches it off, and McGregory, we see that speed, the 4-star commit to Louisville, playing some ACC ball next year. Showed that speed early and just busted out of the gates and unable to get it because of the secondary unit. But what a great play for the Tigers out early. Dorenkamp right next to DeGroot. 3 to the left, 1 to the right. DeGroot takes it, steps back in the middle, had a wide open guy, but caught. Do they get a touchdown? Jaden McGregory finishes what he started, gets the catch and the touchdown. So Tigers on top early, 20-0. 2:03 left in the first quarter as the extra point by Harn is on the way.
Well, they had man-to-man, they just had one-on-one all the way around on the outside. And he just went out there and just sat down right at the pylon. Beautiful throw, great timing on that throw, and that's huge. Going up 3 possessions this early, it's danger zone. It's the danger zone for Urbandale right now.
Yeah, it is. And Harn now the kick. Urbandale's block defense trying to make it look like it was no good. Goal. Oh. The kick is no good. It looked good from here. But because we're just off-centered a little bit, it makes it all hard to tell. I wish I could see that kick.
Just looked like he missed it just a little wide left.
Yeah, puts it a little wide left. That is the first missed extra point of Harn's career.
Wow.
Which is unfortunate for him, and who's only missed 1 or 2 kicks, missed 1 last game against Northwest. But that is just unfortunate. Either way, it doesn't kind of matter at the moment. I mean, you would want
still 3 possessions.
You want as many points as you can, but the Tigers are up by 20 with 2:03 left in the first quarter. Urbandale really needs to get something going quickly. And although they've tried to do it all game, I really think it's time to abandon Rinnan in the legs. Keep Rinnan out, of course. He's shown that he has arm strength, and especially with Jackson Sturdivant, who is a great basketball player and also is a great football player, their leading receiver. Harn now, kick, and puts a lot of leg on it. Caught at the 5, is going to return it. Stopped up at the 20 and taken down early. And it takes 4 guys and a lot of force to take him down.
Well, and with Urbandale behind now, you said they might have to abandon the run. I don't think they're close. They're very close to that yet. It's still the first quarter, still a lot of time to go, and there's still plenty of time to run the ball. Because if Rinnan can only throw, it's not going to go that great. So I don't think they're going to abandon the run just yet, but they're going to have to get some passing to,
they
open
will
it up a little bit.
And it's a handoff, the first run that isn't by Landon Rinnan, and it's by number 8, Jackson Sturdivant, who is a great rusher and receiver, but there is a flag on the play. Holding on offense, so it'll move it back 5, and just a hurtful play, hurtful flag for Urbandale, who's already struggling so much, and now to back it up 10 yards is really unfortunate.
I mean, they just shot themselves in the foot there, and they've had so many, this one's a 1st and 20. They had 2nd and long, 3rd and long. With this running team, you just can't do that.
According to the scorebook, they haven't gained a yard all play, and that's because of the couple of sacks and hits behind the yard. But it's a fake handoff. Rinnan has the man open. It's one-on-one coverage. Caught for a first down. What a play by Urbandale. Oh, my gosh. Rinnan showing that not only can he run, he can throw the ball. Finds Jackson Sturdivant for a 40-yard gain. Because of the 1st and 20, he moves it 40 yards, and the ball is spotted at the 50-yard line. What a great play-action pass. It was a one-on-one coverage. Sturdivant guarded by McGregory and just beats him. A great over-the-shoulder catch. Now 3 men in the backfield, one-on-one on each side. Play action, another pitch and catch inside the middle of the field. And another first down, and Urbandale is moving the ball.
Well, if they can pass the ball, that's how they can get back into this game, because it'll open up the run game. And that deep throw, there was pretty good coverage, but they had just one-on-one, no safety help. And that's going to be interesting to see how they can pass the ball against that one-on-one coverage. They're going to be on islands. We have a timeout, I think.
The catch was made by number 32, Hudson Weber, the junior tight end for Urbandale, in that most recent 10-yard gain. The officials were signaling for something, but now it's all right. Ball placed at the 39 inside Tiger territory. This is the first time Urbandale has had a successful drive or even been inside Valley territory. Another play action. Rinnan now has 2 guys behind him. Just tries to throw it wide open, but way overthrows his target on that one. He tried to get Javion Edwards Ramirez, the senior running back, who was wide open, but just overthrows him because he was rushed out of the pocket.
I mean, they had pressure on him immediately, and they're still pinning their ears back, and they're getting pushed at the line and rolling out to the left. That's a hard thing to do, especially for a right-handed quarterback.
Yeah, rolled out to the left, tried to find something, but unable to do so. So now their favorite formation, 3 in the backfield, 1, and it's a handoff. Hit hard. Jackson Sturdivant, the running back, lays down the shoulder and gets a strong rush, but only for about a gain of 2.
Well, they keep getting themselves stuck in these 3rd and longs, and I think it's 4-down territory here. You're at the, 37-yard line, and with high school kickers, you never know. They're not going to have the biggest leg. So
No.
I think this is 4-down territory. I think you're going to see another run here.
I agree. It's 3rd and 8 now, and the first quarter winds down. Tigers lead 20-0. We'll keep it here. They make it an official 3rd and 9. Ball on the 3rd and 38 inside Tiger territory. Like you said, the high school kicker leg isn't the strongest. We've seen Conley Harn make a deep one, but I don't know about Urbandale. They do have a strong kicker out of Logan Sutter, the senior, number 41. But it's going to be interesting to see how the Urbandale Jayhawks draw it up, and I'd be very interested to see if they decide to go with the play action pass, which is what gave them the 40-yard bomb to the 50-yard line. It also gave them the deep throw to Hunter Weber, the tight end. We'll see what they decide to draw up, but also we have seen when he's able to find the hole, Landon Rennan has the legs of a very strong running back who can also throw the ball. What do you expect to see from this very crucial 3rd and 9 for Urbandale? Because if they can get the first down or even score, it'll make this 3 possession lead a lot shorter.
I mean, if I were Urbandale, I would run this because running is their strength. And if you can even get it to, I don't know, a 4th and 2 or 3, then the whole playbook is open. And down by this much, in this kind of no man's land here, I would be surprised if they would throw the ball.
Yeah. Inside between the 50 to the 30 really is no man's land, like you mentioned in high school football, because it's too close to punt unless you're like on that deep part of the 45-50, and it's also too close to kick. Being this far away in this type of game, I would expect Urbandale to keep it in four-play territory just because of how far away, even though it's early. It is a handoff, fake handoff. Rennan trying to get to his left. He makes one man miss, and just like you mentioned, it's going to be about a 4th and 2. Rennan kept doing the fake throw, trying to find an open guy, and eventually just decides to tuck the ball. But Valley's defense always had one man in front of him and finally forced him out of bounds, making it officially at the 32, so a 4th and 3. And this is decision time for the Jayhawks. They keep the offense on the field. 11:53, 7 seconds have winded down in this second quarter. Down by 20, the Jayhawks need something on 4th and 3. One man to the right, 3 men in the backfield. It looks like they might just be trying to draw somebody offside. Now because of motion, they got two. Motion on the line. And that is one of the issues when you try to...
Called a timeout. Called timeout. There was definitely movement on the left side of that offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to mention that is one of the issues when you're trying to draw the flag on the other end of the ball. It makes your offensive lineman antsy and cause the jumps. But Urbandale the coaching staff able to recognize that their guys on the line getting antsy and call the timeout. So they're down to 2 left in this first half of play, second quarter. Tigers lead 20-0. And we'll see what Urbandale draws up. Will they send the offense right back out and just decide, you know what, instead of just making them try to jump, just go straight for the 4th down? Or do you bring out kick team, punt team?
I mean, I think they're just going to take the offense back out here, I'm guessing. You go out and see what they're in, and you adjust to that. And now you can just kind of draw up that perfect play. No, they're punting.
Yep,
wow.
They bring out the punt team.
That's
Hunter Markla tromps out onto the field for the Jayhawks. Now, with it being 4th and 3, there's always the potential of a fake, and Valley recognizes that being up in bunched formation.
Yep.
It does go to Markla, a potential, and they're just going to let it fly out the back of the end zone, which is a great heads-up play. Don't cause any frustration by trying to take it out and potentially leading to a muff punt or a fumble. Just put the ball on the 20-yard line and go out. Because really for Valley, every drive they've gone out, they've scored a touchdown, and they'd really like to continue that. 11:46 left in this first half of play. Tigers lead 20-0 right here at Valley Stadium in West Des Moines, Iowa on 88.7 KWDM The Point. It's looking like a really strong game out of this Tiger team, and we'll see how this offensive unit can just continue their dominance on the field. The score for them is still a 20-point lead. Nothing has changed. The only issue that Valley's faced all game was the 40-yard bomb that they let up on defense in the missed kick. But those are all minor details in the long span of things. DeGroot, play action. It's a dish off to McGregory, who's pulled out of bounds for a 6-yard gain. Ball will be placed right at about the 26-yard line.
Well, I'm still kind of bamboozled by the decision to punt. Like I can't really get over that right now. You're at the 32-yard line. It's 4th and 3. You've shown that you can run the ball. You've shown that you can throw. I just don't know about that decision. And running the ball before that, man, that's confusing to me.
Yeah, because normally when you run it on 3rd and long, it's almost a guarantee that you're gonna go for it. But DeGroot, it was a fake handoff, and he keeps running for it. For a second, I couldn't tell who had the ball, if it was Brown or DeGroot. But DeGroot keeps it himself. Slow to get up, but they do mark it, and there's a hurt Jayhawk on the field. That's why. And they said Calver, trying to figure out who that is.
Well, Urbandale really needs a stop here. If you go up 4 possessions, you have 11 and a half minutes, so you're through a quarter. And there's still 3 quarters to go. Sure, it's a long game. Crazier things have happened. But I don't want to say it's desperation time yet. That might be a little overreacting. But
oh, for sure. I think it'd be overreaction to say that this ball game's over, or that even it's desperation. Sure. You still got a whole second half to play. There's 11 minutes left, which is a lot of time for the time being. Just the fact that Valley now, they're saying that they gave him the first down. The initial spot from the ball was questionable.
I mean, he gave him 2 yards, so.
And I don't know what I heard. But it was Daniel Davis, not Calder. I don't know what I heard, but it was 71. Daniel Davis, the junior defense and offensive lineman, 6'3", 220. Unfortunate for him to go down. It looks like he's walking on his own strength. He's just fine. Most likely cramps or just taking a rough hit. You'll see that. We'll look to see if he comes back, because with that size, he is a necessary part of this Urbandale defense. DeGroot drops back, hits Brown, makes one man miss, and finally taken down after a gain at the 40-yard line, so a gain of 7.
I mean, it was just a little swing out of the backfield, and it's just more of that, more of the short stuff. And Urbandale's really had no answer for it. And if Valley can just keep bleeding this clock away with this big lead already, and if you can turn this drive into a score, like that would be huge for this team.
Yes, it will be. 2 to the right, 2 to the left, 1 to the right. Tigers moving left to right to left now. It's a handoff. Whistles right after the snap and handoff.
I don't see.
I think I see a
flag.
flag. I do.
Oh, you do?
It's okay. It's on the way right side of the field on the 40-yard line. It comes from the line judge. And they march them back. Because they only march them back 5, I'm going to have to assume it was a false start.
That would make sense.
They
blew it dead at the snap. So
they did. It is a false start, confirmed. So 2nd and 8. Ball on the 35, still inside their own territory. That's the first mistake, really, for the Tigers all game. And their first penalty also. DeGroot now in the backfield. It's a handoff. And that's Dorenkamp. Dorenkamp just fighting. And Dorenkamp finally taken down. I'm mistaken. That is not Dornkamp. That's Colton Shelton, who's still in the game. Wait, was it?
Looked like 26.
28.
Cochran.
It was 28.
28?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, yep, that was.
28,
That's not bad.
the running back. No, you're good. With all these numbers blending in, it's
Yeah,
so hard to tell,
hard to
especially
see.
from high up. But it is Colton Shelton, who's been in for Dornkamp since the first part. I can even see Dornkamp on the field. And it's another handoff to Shelton. And Shelton taken down early. And that will be a loss of 2. They start way behind the line of scrimmage to hand the ball off. And they say it's only a loss of 1 yard line. 1 yard, ball placed at the 46-yard line.
Well, I think we might see more of Cohen Shelton today because Dornkamp has really done a lot of heavy lifting for this team, and up 20-0, like you have the ability to bring the backup in for a couple of drives in this game.
So man in motion on the left side. It's another fake handoff to Shelton, and now the ball quickly dished off to McGregory. And McGregory taken down inside Urbandale territory at the 45-yard line. Wow. They say the 47-yard line. It looked a lot.
Must have stepped out early or something. It's on the near side, so it's hard to tell.
It is on the near side, so it is much harder to tell, but it looked like he got at least the 46. But now it brings up the first 3rd down situation for the Tigers. DeGroot has a decision alongside. It is a handoff. Actually, it's a fake. And it might have been better just to keep it with Shelton. And that's the first 3rd down misconversion for Valley. So because they are so far away, it would seem almost insensitive to go for it.
I mean, they might.
And they might.
Looks like they're keeping the offense out there. I mean, they're at the 47. They're at Urbandale's 47. It's a 4th and 4, so it's a reasonable time to go for it. I mean,
it is reasonable with 9 minutes winding down in this first half of play. Valley leads 20-0. We'll see though with 3 to the right, 2 to the left, no man in the backfield besides DeGroot. And there's a timeout by Swenson. It looked like they were going to snap it. There wasn't even a fake. DeGroot fully snapped the ball and it was in his hands right as the whistles blew for the timeout. So we'll see what Valley does for real this time. Both teams still have 2 timeouts left with 8:59 remaining in this first half of play. Urbandale trails by 20, but they have a big 4th down stop that they need to pick up. Valley, who's up by 20, needs to get 4 yards. And this is where I think, although Valley may be able to cruise to a win, this will be crucial for Urbandale to see, can they get any momentum in this game? If you can stop Valley on a 4th and 4, it'll create a lot of momentum for your team, especially if you can use that as their first stop of the game, their first drive where Valley doesn't score. And if you can convert that stop to points, especially a touchdown, it'll be a big swing for this game. But it will be a punt. Trent Grevengood comes out.
You know, I like this decision here. I'm usually a proponent of, go for it. But up 20, if you give the ball back to them with good field position, that's just not good.
Yeah, and it's just unnecessary.
Booming punt.
It is a booming punt. What a way by Trent Grevengood. Punted the ball at about the 37 yards, and it goes straight inside the end zone. So officially, they're going to call it a 63-yard punt.
I mean,
Can
officially, that would be like, it's going to be about like a 27 or so because of the touchback.
Well, the punt, the actual punt, not just like with the return.
Oh, yeah,
It'll be,
sure.
I can't remember.
It'll probably be about 40
a 16.
or so.
Well, he punted it at the 40 all the way, and it landed in the middle of the end zone. So I think it's going to be officially a 60-yard punt, which that's the best punt he's had his entire career. I remember when they were all line drive, Ridden now with the quick offense, rolls out of the pocket and tackled.
Ooh,
big hit.
Took out a member of the chain gang here.
That is
he's okay.
He's shaken up. Yeah, he was tackled right into, Ridden was tackled right into the line of scrimmage marker, and down went the marker holder. Looks to be fine. He's actually went straight back to business, trying to put the yellow marker, yellow like tape banner on top of the marker to signify it. So there will be a little bit of stoppage to play just to make sure that's all right. But it is a pickup of nothing. 2nd and 10 now on the 20-yard line. Urbandale needs to do something. They finally were able to stop Valley on offense, and now can they use that to their advantage? Can they march down this field and get some points on the board?
Well, I mean, it's been really hard for Urbandale to get going with the run, and they're moving the ball up about 15 yards.
Oh my goodness.
So
they moved the ball up 15 yards, which I missed the call, but
might have been a late hit.
It was a late hit out of bounds.
Sideline.
I did see some whistles coming out in some minor discomfort, just dislike from the Urbandale sideline. So I think it was a late hit. Handed off. He's got some space, but finally taken down at the 6-yard line. So that would be number 22, Braden McHenry, the senior running back for Urbandale, gets that pickup of 7 officially. So 2nd and 3, 8:20 winding down in first half of play. Down by 20. We said they need to march down the field with that 15-yard extra boost off of the late hit penalty. They're really starting to get into business, finding the groove of thing. They did get stopped up last time they had a big gain, so we'll see how they can do it this time. And big pressure sacked by this big orange defense.
I mean, that's another time the line was just in there immediately. They're really just pinning their ears back. They're really just daring Ridden to throw right now. And that time he just had no time at all.
And it was nobody else besides Jaron Horn, number 38, who had a couple of big sacks against Dowling in the season opener, alongside Alonzo Jimenez, the 4-time player who's been on 4-year varsity member, who's been a starter for 3 years. What a great play for the Tiger defense, just stopping him back. Now Ridden trying to get out, pulled. He had space. He had a wide open bubble, and he was going to take it. But the Valley defense takes hold of his back pant pocket and drags him down. So brings up a huge 4th and 11. And this is way too far. Ball on the 34-yard line. They're going to have to punt it, which is just detrimental. You stop Valley for the first time all night, get a big 15-yard penalty, and then 2 sacks is just unfortunate.
Yeah, and I mean, they had 2nd and 3, too, and then it just went backward from there. Like, 2nd and 3 is an amazing spot, but they couldn't take advantage of it.
And now here comes the punt from Marcola. It's a line drive, and it is going to get caught. It's going to be returned. Dustin Hersberg, who was I saying? Trent Grevengood trying to make up for his return that got called back. But finally taken down inside the Urbandale territory, an official spot of 44 yards.
Well, this is a huge drive in this game. See if you can go up 4 possessions. And DeGroot, I mean, he's looked a lot more comfortable in this game. Like the Dowling game, like that's a better defense.
Yeah, and going on to your point, Dowling, it's always the shaky game, and then being the first game of the season is a very struggleful game because of the fact that first game of the season you're playing your crosstown rivals, and it was also a top 5 matchup. It was very tough, and then going inside the den, which is a very hostile territory. It was very hard for DeGroot to get comfortable. Direct snap to McGregory. McGregory, who faked the throw and just trying to force him down. A big stiff arm. That's a questionable play call as he's unable to get anything. I would have liked to see him just lower the shoulder and try to get something. Instead, it'll be a loss of a yard. Unable to get anything. And they do say he made it back to the line of scrimmage. But that was just a questionable call, unable to get anything. But yeah, as to piggyback, to continue off my point, DeGroot, we've seen him, as our key was just to let him get comfortable, and that he's been able to do. And you can see that confidence booth. And now it's a handoff. Shelton gets...
It's Dornkamp.
Dornkamp.
Yep.
The issue is Cole and Shelton, Blake Dornkamp look very similar.
Yep.
Like they're both very similar in height, both of that 6', 5'11" range, and both ranging in at about the 200.
Yeah, I mean,
180.
They're just like
They're very similar.
they're just like smaller, you know,
Small, compact players.
shifty, like come at you guys. So
But
yeah,
now
it's hard
it's-
to tell.
Now it's 3rd and 5 inside the 39-yard line. DeGroot fakes the pitch, and he's got space showing those legs. DeGroot, who showed those legs a lot against Dowling and used it very, very well, especially when it came down to crunch time, who got a crucial touchdown in the Dowling game, showing it again, and that will be a pickup of 20. He went from the 10, from the 39 to the 29. So a great first down pickup for the Tigers. And 4:30 winding down as we almost hit the 4-minute mark on this first half of play. 2 men to the right, 1 man to the left, 2 in the backfield. And it is a handoff. It's Dornkamp, who's taken down after a gain of 4, brought down at the 25-yard line. That was Dornkamp. I did see the number. I'm going to, unfortunately, probably get it messed up a lot tonight, which I hate to say because just being very similar. And also, it's hard to tell the number.
And you know, early in the year, you're still getting to know
trying to
these
get
guys,
used to
so.
all of these guys. We've only had 2 games. Just the way the schedule worked out, you go home, away, home, away, away, home. So now 3 to the right, 1 to the left, 2 men in the backfield. It's DeGroot who drops back, and it's going to be another design run. He goes to the left side of the field, down the 20, to the 10, and takes a hit at the 10-yard line, but dives forward for an extra 2 yards after the contact. So he goes from the 25-yard line to the 8. A pickup of some quick math here, 17 yards.
Nicely done.
So 3 minutes 25 winding down in this first quarter of the play. Tigers inside the goal line, inside deep Urbandale territory. 1st and goal on the 9-yard line. 20-0. Tigers trying to add on to this already large 3-possession lead. 2 to the right, 1 to the left. 3 men in the backfield. It's a handoff to Dornkamp. Dornkamp moving in and out, fighting. Looks like he reached over the pylon, but they're going to say his knee hit right before the reach. So they're going to mark it down at the half-inch 1-yard line. Funny, it was a quick pickup by Cade Yeager for Urbandale. Dornkamp really wanted to say, hey, I got it in and put the ball on the goal line, and Yeager was like, nope, not going to let that happen. Quickly picked the ball up and gave it to the ref, just saying, no, we still have a couple more possessions on defense to keep Valley out of the end zone. But it's bunch formation, and DeGroot will QB sneak it in for the touchdown. Tigers on top, 26-0. And what a play. What a drive for Valley, really. You come in with 4 minutes on the clock, and you just rush the ball to perfection. Dornkamp just fighting for those extra yards and gets a big 10-yard play. And then DeGroot moves it from the 25 to the 8-yard line. And then Dornkamp just bruises his way to the half-inch yard line. And DeGroot legs it in and just gets that extra half yard into the end zone. They won't go for 2. They'll give Harn his redemption. as he comes on for the extra point kick. The kick up, and it's a line drive and good. So he redeems himself that time, and it's a 27-0 lead for Valley.
Yeah, the hold on that didn't look. It might have been. I mean, the snap looked okay. The hold was not great. It was a little crooked, but that's why it was a line drive.
I would like to mention that is one of the things is because the holder is Micaiah LaSure. Micaiah LaSure, who is the lead safety for Valley and also a star track athlete. So you can't expect greatness out of that one.
Yeah. He's got a lot of other things to worry about.
And we just got an update. Number 80, Josh Tarpe, well, who is put in at 80, is actually wearing number 14. So if we missed that for any of the rushes, that is our fault. We weren't updated until just now that his number was switched. It wasn't told to us. I think it was just told to the booth by both just now. Both the PA announcer and us just got that information. So we'll keep that in mind on this next upcoming offensive drive as the kick is up and away. It's kind of deep, caught at the 7-yard line. The return is on the way. This will be the longest return at 22 yards. And that's where we really messed up because it's Josh Tarpe, who brings the ball out. I've been waiting because I saw his name in the books, in the stat book, as a prominent figure on this team, Josh Tarpe, who is the second leading rusher for Urbandale. And I just haven't called his name much. It's because he's wearing number 14, not number 80. And now we'll see how Urbandale can come out. 2:13 left in this first half of play, down by 27. You really need to get on the board before halftime, or else it might be time to hit the buses early. It's a handoff, and that's a deep run out of number 15, Jaire Gay, the junior running back, who gets his first carry of the night. It's a nice pickup of about 7 at the 29-yard line. So 2nd and 3, a minute 52. It's kind of questionable how Urbandale is letting this, although they have 2 timeouts.
And they're just sitting in the huddle.
They're just sitting in the huddle as 1:40 winds down. I understand you don't want to give the ball back to Valley and give them any time left on the field. We've seen how quickly they can get the ball down. But also, you want to be able to score. So a minute 30 now, let 15 seconds wind down. Gay with the ball again, keeps standing up, and he's got space down the right sideline, 50-yard line, finally dragged down. Oh, that's a scary tackle. That could have potentially been called for a horse collar, but nothing called. Jaire Gay. What a play out of that man.
He got out of bounds, too.
He gets out of bounds, stops the clock. He goes from the 29-yard line, finds some open space, and just hits the right side of the sideline right in front of Valley and gets down. They'll spot the ball at the 43. So a final pickup of, I'm trying to do quick math here.
A lot.
Yeah. I'm going to, 34 yards, that's what it is. From the 29 to the 43, you can just do 30 to the 43. That's 33 plus the extra yard. 34 is the full total pickup by Jaire Gay, which is a great pickup out of that man, and it is a timeout. Urbandale calls their second timeout of the half. 1 remaining, and it's a minute 19.
That's an interesting timeout because
they have the ball stopped.
Why didn't they call a timeout? If they're going to start to call timeouts, why didn't they call a timeout like last play when the clock was running and they lost about 20, 30 seconds, and then when they do get out of bounds, they have to waste one of their timeouts. Maybe they were in a look that they didn't like or something, but that's really interesting to me. Now they only have 1 timeout with 1:19, and to be able to get into the end zone, they're going to need some throws, unless they, break off another big run.
I looked it up. I was making sure that it wasn't like a mercy rule where the clock stops even after going bounds. No, that's the 35-point rule, which if Valley were to score 1 more touchdown, they would make it the 30 and the extra point. It would make it the mercy rule.
Well,
but
they'd need the 2-point conversion.
they would need
because
the
of
2-point after the
extra
missed extra point, but that isn't something that's plausible right now with Urbandale has the ball and only down 27. Fake handoff, Renan looking, he's got a man wide
Double
open.
coverage.
Oh my, scary ball,
A
whoa!
late flag came in. Might have gotten there a little early, but it was it was a jump ball. I don't know about that.
That is
one
an
right there.
unfortunate call right there. That is very unfortunate. It looked like to be Alec McClinton on the coverage there. I guess the refs are going to call that he went over the back.
I think he just mistimed his jump a little bit.
Yeah, and it was actually Cash Kiner, the senior defensive back. That makes more sense because McClinton is a linebacker. But that is an unfortunate call and just moves them more 15 yards now. So 1st and 10 on the 28, and they are in striking distance. A minute 13 left on this clock. Renan drops back, has the man, almost picked off.
Threw it just right at his feet.
Yeah, threw it right to the feet of number 20, number 9. Who was it? Number 33, Gino Scarata. That's his first target of the game. It's very hard, especially as the lights come down. It's hard to read these numbers from up so high, and they're always blending in. But it is 33, Gino Scarata, the intended target on that play, unable to get it. So 2nd and 10 now. The great thing is, though, the clock doesn't run. Rolls out to his right, his left actually. It's caught. He's got space. Oh, taken down at the 3-yard line.
Looked like that one was Hudson Weber, the tight end. And yeah, it's been, they really, Valley really bailed out Urbandale with that pass interference.
What is happening?
They're moving it.
They're moving it back.
Now.
And all these penalties, and one of the issues, the PA system isn't that loud. You can't really hear the refs up here in the upstairs area. But they march it back a whole 10 yards. So now instead of a second and
instead of like a 1st and goal at the 4,
it's a 2nd and 20 on the 38-yard line, and the clock's still went down, so a full minute left on this clock. Renan has to throw the ball. Pressure coming, sacked. That's a great response out of the Valley defense, and they respond. They get the flag. Still unsure what it was, but it would have had to have been a 10-yard penalty because it was 2nd. It was 2nd and 10. They replayed the down, 2nd and 20, and he sacked for a big loss. They'll move it down to the whole 46. So a loss of 8, making it a 3rd and 28 officially.
3rd and
28.
Yeah.
3rd and 28 on it. 45 seconds left, but the question is, why isn't the clock running?
Looked like they might have had the chains wrong on that last play because it looked like it should have been, it was 2nd and 10, and then the hold brought it back, so it should have been 2nd and 20.
The clock now runs. Yeah.
That's interesting.
So now the board and the chain gang are not in cahoots. It's a deep throw. Picked off, Tigers. And taken. Oh, he's not down, but finally taken down. Who caught that?
McGregory, I think.
And it is Jaden McGregory showing why he deserves that 4-star ranking and going to Louisville. The D1 commit. His last interception, if would have been last season, I believe, in the state playoffs.
Yeah, that was huge. That was a huge one in that game.
And the last one was against, I believe, Dowling in the early part of the game, but it was Jaden Brown who had the late one. But that's a great way to end it on defense in this first half of play. Get a big pick from Jaden McGregory. And now he stays on the field, coming back out as the wide receiver. I'd assume they just run the ball out.
Yeah, that would make sense.
You don't want to do too much.
Up 27.
Up 27. And I could also see if they want to get the mercy rule started by half. It's a handoff, and he's got space. And finally taken down, gets the first down. We'll see does Swenson call a timeout or not. They do not.
I doubt it.
And so the clock will start up right as this first down. They are rushing to the line, so the clock runs, even though the chain's not set yet.
I mean, you might just run another play and see what happens. If you break off a big play for a touchdown, great.
Nope, that will do it.
That'll do it.
Triple zeros on the clock in this first half of play. Valley leads it 27-0, and they have been dominant on the defensive side of the field, not let Urbandale do anything. The best play that Urbandale's had all game was a 40-yard deep pass, and that led to nothing. And now the interception by Jaden McGregory to close out the first half of play is exactly what Valley needs to keep the momentum on their side of the ball. They will have to kick the ball, though, off, and Urbandale will get first possession. So it's a very important that Valley kept them scoreless and not let them get any offensive mojo before they go on for the second half to start. Any last words?
I mean, as you said, like, Urbandale gets the ball after half, and Valley has come up with 2 huge stops on these last 2 drives where Urbandale has driven a little bit. They've had some success, especially on the ground. But these 2 huge stops, especially not letting them go like 2 for 1 and getting the ball after half too. These have just been some huge plays in this game.
Yeah, it has been. And we'll see what happens in this second half of play. We'll see how much Valley continues to step on this gas. Up 27-0. Valley leads Urbandale. We'll be right back after this halftime break. Thank you for listening right here, and stay tuned on 88.7 KWDM The Point.
When you ask how I've been, I know you mean well. I know you mean well. Whoever dialing tonight, that's a bullet. Throw out my freezer burn feelings for 20 summers. I'm drinking travel comes through the night sky, spinning at the stars like great lights. And I love my life, running middle fingers through the red lights. And I guess I'm getting older 'cause I'm restless when I can't get on to the guest list. To the end of the round, feel the drink tangerines back when I get down. Silent killers, all these years coming like waves. Hold me like a crush. The world is always spinning and I can't keep up. Oh, faster and faster, can't do it on my own. Part-time story, full-time problem, so hold me like a crush. not the same anymore. I hear them trumpets singing. They want it loud, they want it now, they want it loud. Just get it out, just get it out, just get it out. This world just everything changes, everything stays the same. I've been going through phases, turning the page in my brain. And overhead in the distance, it's never looking the same. I'm going through changes, going through phases, going through phases.
You're listening to 88.7 KWBM The Point, your only source for Tiger sports.
We're back here on 88.7 KWDM The Point, out of Valley High School, inside West Des Moines, Iowa, right here at Valley Stadium. We got a good one for the Tigers, not so much for their opponent, the Urbandale Jayhawks. Tigers come out of the halftime break with a 27-0. We got about 9 minutes left until the second half kicks off. Cole, what are your key takeaways from this first half? We'll start it off with Valley. What were some of their strengths we saw on offense, and what did they really do well on defense to keep Urbandale scoreless?
Well, I think on offense especially, I was really impressed with the run game. They were just getting chunk after chunk, and that opened up the little plays up the seam in the pass game. And also, it bleeds the clock away too, because, the Urbandale defense could not stop the run, especially in that first quarter. And if Valley can keep this up, they'll cruise to a victory here, and it keeps the clock moving. And right now, up 27-0. You don't want to get crazy. You don't want to get cute. You just want to get out of here with a win. And being able to keep up that run game will be key. And for the defense, I was really impressed with being able to stop Renan on the run game. They were running a lot of little, zone reads and stuff like that. And they were just, bearing down on both the running back and quarterback. And now that Urbandale is down 27, they're going to have to throw the ball more, which is not their strength. So, you always feel good after, being up 27 after one half of play. But, this, obviously no team is built to come back from down 27, but this Urbandale team especially is not built as a team that can just, go full air raid and come back from a deficit like this.
Yeah, you're right, and that's the key thing. No team is built to come back from 27 down, but we've seen crazier things happen, especially in high school football. But that is also the thing. There's a whole half left to play, and I expect a lot of things to change. Because if you're Urbandale, at this point, you have nothing to lose. You can really start to open up your playbook. That is one of the better things about playing from behind. You never want to do it, but if you are in that situation, you can open up the playbook. You can start to figure out what worked for you in the first half. Use that film that you're getting from up in the upstairs unit in the press box and see, well, one of the key things we mentioned was the fact that Renan comes into the game as one of the best rushers for this team, one of the better rushers in the 5A conference, and he has been non-existent on the ground.
Right.
And I think if you are Urbandale, it's time to maybe look. We don't want to eliminate the run because we saw in the few stretches that he was able to get out of the pocket, he was very effective, but Valley really started to blitz and show a lot of inside pressure, not allowing anything to go on the inside. But when Urbandale tried to get around the corners, that is when things started to open up. And that's where I would like to see Urbandale really start to move their offense, is hit the corners. Because if you can get on the outside corners on the left or the right side, especially down the sideline, that is where Urbandale strived a lot. Also, Valley kept the middle open just like how Urbandale did. Both teams' defense left the middle wide open for passing plays. I'd like to see both teams exploit that a little bit more, because both of the times when they had big plays, it came from in the middle of the field. A guy got wide open, just beat the man on coverage, and all those big pass plays been on man coverage deep in the middle. So that's what I'd like to see both teams work on in the second half of play.
Well, I mean, in the first half, Valley was daring Urbandale to throw the ball, and at the very start of the game, when they were just getting nothing, on the first play of the game, they tried to throw the ball, which I don't think was a very good decision because it gets you behind early. But, they really tried to run the ball against, a stacked box. And late in that first half, I really saw, and I was impressed for Urbandale how, they had little, sweep plays. They were, throwing it to the just little like screen passes to the outside. If Urbandale wants any chance anywhere, I'm not saying they have to be like, going full air raid, but they just have to not allow Valley to just like put 7-8 guys in the box and just plug them up. If Urbandale can, really open up the field with wider plays that makes the defense defend from sideline to sideline, then it'll open up the middle for those run plays, and that's what Urbandale really wants to do.
Yeah, that's exactly what they need to do. They need to open up that middle ground. And I agree. I don't think Urbandale should really switch to the air raid all that much. We've seen in past games that they've had a lot of success on the ground, and we've also seen that when Landon Rennan gets pressured, heavy pressure, he tends to throw an interception, which he did at the end of this first half. And I would like to see, for the Urbandale sake, no more interceptions. You don't want to let up too much. But for the fact of Valley, they need to come out strong in this second half of defense because we mentioned it a little bit earlier. One more score for Valley, and granted, the 2-point conversion puts them up in the mercy roll in that 35, and that's when the clock doesn't stop for anything. So if you're Valley and you want to get out of here quickly, you want to stay strong on that defense, and you want to keep going, keep the pedal to the metal on offense, because if you can do that, you'll really start to drive this game towards its end. I'd really like to see on offense for Valley. We mentioned keeping the middle open. That's where a lot of their strength has been for the passing offense air raid. They've had a lot of strength when it came to keeping it in the middle. But also, we mentioned Blake Dorenkamp, how he was a very strong rusher. Colton Shelton has come in number 28, the senior running back. He has been proving his worth also. He's standing at 5'8", 180. But you can't really tell. He is putting his shoulder down, and he's worked a lot, getting those extra 12 yards when it looked like 9 was all he was going to get. Both of these running backs for Valley have been very strong guys when it comes to yak yards. Yards after the catch, yards after receiver, or yards after contact.
Yards after contact, yep.
There's two different yaks, yards after contact, yards after the catch, yards after reception. And both of these guys have really excelled when it comes to contact yards. And I really like to continue to see Valley just harping on that, continuing to move on Shelton and Dorenkamp, because both of these guys have shown that they're willing to put their bodies on the line, which is very, very resilient effort.
Well, I mean, Dorenkamp and Shelton are going to have to be the bell cows in the second half because, I mean, I said at the start of this, second half, you just kind of want to get out of here. You don't want anything crazy to happen because this is your game to lose. You're up 27, and if you can, even if you allow a score on this first drive, it's not the end of the world because you're still up big.
That they are. And I think for Valley especially, this game means a little bit more. One, they're coming off of a loss to Northwest, which that was a number 2 versus like number 3 type game. And to lose that, especially in the fashion that they did with 3 interceptions and really shaking up the groove, is not how you wanted to come out of it. But also for this one, this has a lot also on the line for Valley, as the last time they played Urbandale would have been, if I remember correctly, 2022-2023 season. It might have been 2023-2024 season. It was either 22-23. Either way, last time Valley played, Urbandale comes in and gets a big win and shocks Valley, really, because Valley hadn't lost to Urbandale in the last 10 matchups, and that was a big loss. So Valley now trying to respond to that loss a couple years ago, and now they're really proving it, up 27-0. Kickoff team is out. And Cole, It's time for some second half ball. Valley looks excited. They were getting the blood pumping early and late into that halftime break. They were doing some 20-yard sprints back and forth to the goal line. And now we got 24 minutes left the ball to play tonight. And the first 12 is to start the kickoff by Harn. And the Jayhawks will let it bounce in the end zone. It's a touchback to start off.
Well, I mean, this kickoff unit, like, you don't really think about it very much, but I've been really impressed. You haven't really seen the touchbacks like you saw right there, but you've had great coverage, and that's been setting Urbandale back. And this run-heavy team, that is the last thing that you want, especially when they've been down pretty significantly this whole game.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. One of the issues when you are a run-heavy team is when you start back, it's hard to get a lot of yards. Those 80 yards. Oh, Jaylon Horn tries to get the sack, but finally taken down. Goes for the low tackle. That's number 54.
34.
34.
I think 34. Maybe.
Valley doesn't have a 34.
I don't know what I saw. But
64, Nick Mouser. No, he would have been an O-lineman.
whatever.
Either way, it's a big play for Valley.
I mean, he just like ducked.
Actually, I think it was 14, Braden Hine, the senior DB, but that's a huge sack for Valley. Number 61, I can tell that number because that's the big boy, Benjamin Bruth, the junior, 6'3", 250 defensive lineman. Some great heads-up play to start out this drive. We mentioned how Valley really needs to start on defense, especially if they want to move it to a 35-point lead, and that's how you started. 3rd and 22 now, a big deficit for this Urbandale team to start off. So it's Braden Hine with the low tackle to start him slow, and then Benjamin Booth, the 6'3", 250-pound bruiser defensive lineman, comes in for that huge sack. 10:30, and it got loud, and here comes the flag. I can't tell if it's a false start or a timeout. And they call it a false start, so back it up 5 yards. So making it a 3rd and 27 on the
3rd and forever here.
3-yard line. They're pretty much backed all the way up onto Ashworth Road at this point because it's 3rd and 27 at the 3-yard line. And this defense comes at him, tries to get the safety and taken down at the 1-yard line. Had Rinnan kept it with the back, it would have been a clear safety, but Rinnan able to get a yard, and he's slow to get up. Oh no, he's wriggling on the field, and that is a very awful sight to see. It's an injury timeout. Rinnan, oh, it's hard to look at. He is writhing in pain right now, just unable to take it. It looks maybe like the wind was knocked out of him, but that is rough to see. It was a big hit. And it was like 3 guys all at once right on top of him just trying to take him down. He was just trying to get something out of nothing. Unable to do it. He kept them out of a safety precaution, but is wounded up down at the half-inch yard line. Pretty much spotted at the 1-yard line to make it a 4th and 29. The training staff is over with him, but he hasn't moved since the staff came over to him.
Hate to see it.
You hate to see it because Rinnan, he is a special guy. Although this Valley defense has had all the precautions needed to stop him tonight, he is a guy who can be scary in college when he has a very solid offensive line. No disrespect to Urbandale, but when it comes to these high school guys, you don't always have as strong as an offensive line. But that is great to see. Rinnan gets up onto his own accord and walks off by himself. So he'll step off for a play or two. He'll also most likely, if it was a head hit, go in just to make sure he's cleared for concussion protocol. But
They might, they might go after the punter here. You know, his feet are on the back.
Heels are on the back of the end line. So good thing he's wearing white cleats because it's a white border to make sure he doesn't step out. But he can't step out much once he gets the ball. And the pressure comes almost blocked. But it's a very short punt. Caught at the 40, stays in. Grevin Good tried to tippy-toe his way still in and get some on the return, but unable to do so.
But
they'll take over.
Great field position.
Great field position. They'll take over at the 40. And so incoming for Urbandale is going to be their backup once it comes to their drive.
But this is a huge drive in this game.
This is a huge drive because, like we've been kind of mentioning all this first part of the second half, if they can score and get the 2 point, it starts the clock run down, and that's a big run to start it off. Colton Shelton just not going down and finally taken down at about the 32, 33 yard line.
I mean, who needs the mercy rule when you're just
pounding it on the ground
down their throats every play, and it just keeps the clock just churning.
And I think that's one of the good things with this Valley team, especially tonight. They've run the ball so effectively and not had to go out of bounds. They've been able to just to get down, keep their players uninjured, but keeps the clock running. So 2nd and 3, ball at the 33. It's a big throw, caught by Brown, down the middle of the field. Touchdown, Tigers. What a play, what a catch and run. Caught it in stride. The group put it right in the hands of Brown, and Brown catches it right in way the middle of the field, like we've been mentioning all game. When Valley keeps the middle of the field open, good things happen. Valley won't go for the mercy rule just yet. They will elect to kick the extra point to make it a 34-point ball game. Harn now. Snap, hold, good, kick, up and away, it's good. So 34-0, Tigers dominating with 9:19 remaining in this third quarter. The Tigers up on top of Urbandale.
Well, I mean, these first two drives, you could not have drawn it up any better. I mean, Urbandale had a 4th and 29 from their own 1. And you just suffocate their offense and give them the one thing that you can't let happen when you're in a game like this where you're ahead by a lot.
And then they shot themselves in the foot with the penalty that moved them back 10 yards and resulted in the run-in interception. So the kick from Harn is up away and in the back of the end zone. Harn is starting to feel his groove on these kickoffs. A lot of the few ones that he had, in the first half were high sky balls that allowed for a return, and these last two have been deep kicks into the back of the end zone.
I mean, that one was a low-line drive. He hit that out of the back of the end zone on the fly. That's not something that you see out of a high school kicker very often.
No,
that's really impressive.
Yes, it is. And now we look to see, is Rinnan in?
I don't think so. I think it's
No,
Julian
it's not.
Mason, the backup.
It's Julian Mason, the sophomore backup quarterback, who is taken down early off of the... Yeah, it was a handoff to Jaire Gay, and he's taken down early for a gain of 1. Ball spotted in the middle of the 20-21 yard line, so pretty much a 10-yard still to go, but it will be officially a 2nd and 9, 8:50 remaining in this third quarter of play. Julian Mason still out there, so they are still checking up on Landon Rinnan, but Mason now in the backfield. One to the right, one to the left, moving left to right. In the backfield, handed off to Jaire Gay. Makes one move, and they're still trying to find a way. He finally gets up, finds a hole, but taken down quickly for another gain of about 1. Taken down at the 22-yard line. So it'll be a 3rd and 8 incoming. Down by 34. Urbandale just needs anything. The slightest glimpse of hope is all that they really need with a 3rd and 7 on the way.
Well, I mean, for a backup quarterback, like, this is the worst possible situation. You're going to be throwing the ball a lot. I mean, down 34.
Yeah, that's what you would need to do. Down 34, you want to throw the ball.
You're in desperation mode now, and you're going to be throwing a lot, and that's just not what you want with a backup quarterback that hasn't seen a lot of action.
1 to the left, 3 to the right, moving left to right. Mason rolls out to his right side. He's looking. He's just going to take it and hit hard down to the sideline. For looks to be a pickup of 1. So pickup of nothing. It's very hard to tell from the near sideline when they run out of bounds, especially when all the coaches start to swarm on them. But it'll be a 4th and 6. So it was a pickup of 1. 4th and 6, ball in the 24, and Markla, who's had a lot of game time, unfortunately for the Jayhawks today, come out to punt it again. Some whistles blowing early. They reset the play clock to 25, and all set to go for this punt. Punt team, the returners are only about the 45-yard line of their own side of the field. It's a line drive punt. Caught at the 46. And now he gets some running. Trent Grevengood lowers his shoulder trying to get an extra yard or two and is able to get it knocked out of bounds at about the 41, 42-yard line. So great field position again for the Tigers to start it off here. And we'll look to see how can Valley just continue to act on what they've been doing all game. And also, my question to you is, do they finally bring out the backups?
I don't think so yet.
And they do.
And they do.
And they do.
They're obviously up by a bunch, and the punt, like, they're kind of waving, Urbandale's kind of waving the white flag here.
Yeah, they are. So it's a handoff. And gets about 3 on that one. So Fitz Carpenter comes in to the game after the handoff to Cohen Shelton.
Well, I mean, this is really good for Fitz Carpenter to be getting some play time, because we saw him a little bit after DeGroot has gotten injured a couple times. And with how physical DeGroot is, you know, you might have DeGroot come out a couple of times. So in key moments, Fitz might have to play a little bit.
And actually, it's not Shelton. It is number 25 who takes the handoff and took the last handoff. That is Sam Simaglia. Sam Simaglia, who is a junior running back, 5'11", 160, gets the second handoff, his second handoff of the night. And it makes it a 3rd down and 2. So ball on the 34, which making it makes it a 3rd and out if Urbandale is finally able to stop the Tigers. Makes it kind of unnecessary with the ball inside their own territory on the 34 because of the short punt and long return. So Fitz now rolls out to his right. Looks like he might take it, and he does. He's got space on the open right side of the field and just walks out of the back of the end zone. Tigers are moving right to left, so he rolled out to his right side and gets a nice pickup for that one to move the chains. Fitz Carpenter, who came in for the Dowling game because DeGroot just couldn't quit cramping up. He came in, showed a little bit, but not much. He passed for 2 for 4, a 50% completion rate, and only about 10 yards. He still hasn't thrown the ball yet, but is showing that sneaky athleticism and using his legs. So a ball on the 18, 5-14, winding down, 1st and 10 for the Tigers. Up by 34, motion out of the backfield for Valley. Hands off to Sigmali, but unable to do anything. He's hit hard down early. So it's coming up for a 2nd down. Able to get right at the line of scrimmage, so it'll be a 2nd and 10 coming up for the Tigers.
Well, I mean, Fitz Carpenter, I mean, he's going to have to throw the ball some. At least I just like that he's getting out here early. He's going to get a lot of playing time. He might not throw the ball a lot as they're just going to try to run this clock out. But I just like that he's in for this, pretty much this whole second half.
I agree. And now it's Fitz now takes it, looks for his first pass. It's caught. So first pass of the night and first completion of the night for Fitz Carpenter. And that'll be a pickup of about 5. Waiting for the official spot. It's going to be a lot more than 5. It's going to be about 7. So 3rd and 3. Ball on the 11. That is right. They were coming off of a 2nd and 10. So 3rd and 3. Ball on the 11. Tigers inching closer and closer to that touchdown marker. Fitz Carpenter 2-2, and then one man. It's handed off to Sigmali. Sigmali fighting, just trying to get something. He was hit early in the backfield and then kept pushing. And they are going to spot him short. So it's going to bring up a 4th and 2.
This is interesting.
It is a very interesting spot because you could take the field goal.
Right.
And Hart has proved that he has the leg to do so. This is a lot shorter than even a extra point.
It's about a 28-yarder from here.
But they stay out. Fitz in the I formation with Sigmali behind him. A motion. It's going to hand off. Sigmali tripped up.
Did he stay up long enough?
Did he stay up?
Just like
Urbandale spots him short. Tigers say he got it. We'll see what the officials. It looked close.
I think he was a little short. He got tripped up at about the line of scrimmage, and then he was just kind of stumbling, and it was really hard to tell from up here how far he got. Looks like they spotted him short.
Ooh, it's going to be close. They bring out the chain gang, and this is going to be our first measurement of the season. I wish they'd zoom it up because I can't really see. Oh, that's going to be close. I think you're right. Half a yard short, and the risk comes up short. So the defense comes on for Valley, unable to get anything.
Well, I'm okay with that decision. I mean, you've mentioned quite a few times the mercy rule. I'm not too concerned about that. I mean,
especially now, 2:59 left on the clock. Valley, because they ran the ball so much and so effectively, it just keeps on winding down.
Right, and Urbandale is still going to try to lean on the run. So this clock is going to just keep bleeding away. So I'm okay with that decision. Try to get the offense a couple more reps.
Yep, so it's 1st and 10, 2:59 on the clock. It's a nice handoff, and he's got some space. Picked up and taken down. Julian Mason handed it off for a pickup of about 5. It was Joe Alexander who gets the yardage. So now there's some communication going on.
There might have been a timeout, maybe?
Valley's coming. Oh, it's an injury for Valley. He blends in with on the 20-yard line.
Yeah,
because that's an orange stripe, and now in the orange jerseys.
It's 33.
And that's going to be Alex McClinton, who I messed up, the junior linebacker who's shaken up on that play. He looks fine. It looks like it was just a wind knockout kind of thing. Yep. He's walking back to the huddle even.
Just popped right back up there quickly. You could see his hand on his stomach. You know, he's moving around his shoulder. So he's just trying to get that blood flowing, trying to get back and moving.
100%. Good to see him back up and going. And now 2nd and 6 for the Jayhawks, trying to get their first points on the board all game and really just trying to stop the bleeding at this point. With 2:30 left in this third quarter, Tigers lead 34-0. Handoff for the Jayhawks, and he's got some space. He's moving down. It's going to be a first down for the Jayhawks.
Looks like it's Tarpe.
Josh Tarpe, yep, that's right. Because in my notes I have him at number 80, and we mentioned he's number 14.
Got moved.
So Josh Tarpe, that 1-4, gets a nice pickup and spots the ball at the 25. So a 1st and 10 for the Jayhawks. As they continue to move on this one, we hit the 2-minute mark in this third quarter of play. 3 to the right, 1 to the left, and it's handed off again to Tarpe. And Tarpe taken down early for no gain. It's going to be a 2nd down in about 9.5, really. Luke Walter on the tackle. Walter, who is playing some of his first long minutes as a senior this year, is really showing his presence, making it known. He's a very stocky guy and really keeping that moving. So 2nd and 9, 1:20, and Urbandale just kind of seems like they're just letting this clock wind down. They're not playing with any rush at all, and it's another handoff to Tarpe, and Tarpe moves his way down again, and this time for only a pickup of about 2. So it's going to be a 3rd and 7. With 55 seconds winding down, Urbandale will have to snap the ball one more time before we hit the 4th quarter. 3rd and 6 officially. 29 is where the ball is spotted inside their own territory. The Jayhawks trying to make something out of nothing with where they get the ball deep inside their own territory, and now they're moving it just inching closer into Tiger territory, still about 21 yards short. So 3 to the right, none to the left, 2 men in the backfield. It's Tarpe and Mason. Mason, he throws it.
In triple
coverage, almost taken down. It would have been the 2nd pick of the night for the Tigers. Oh, and he hit the ground hard.
I think it's Cash Kiner, if I was seeing his
Kiner
number
hit the
right.
ground hard, and that's not good.
Man, that was in his hands. Mason just chucked that ball up there.
He let it loose and just hoped that his guy would turn around in time to catch it.
It felt like he was just kind of, like he was set on a guy. It was a play action pass. He just pulls the ball back and then just immediately throws, doesn't look anywhere else.
Well, the other
without
issue,
really a thought.
yeah, the other issue was there was pressure coming from his behind quarters that he could that he felt the presence of, and just let the ball loose, and it was not where he wanted to throw it, and it was right into the hands of Kiner, who can't come down with it, and he's shaken up right as he hit the ground, and it looks like it's just cramping in his calves. They move his legs up. He pops right back up after the short little meet and greet with the trainers, as it normally is. He's a tough guy, a big wrestler for Valley, who did some great things last season for wrestling, made it to state.
Well, that's great to see him come back up and just moving around just fine. Because on those types of plays where he just kind of came flying and he jumps way up and you don't catch it, you can really come down funny sometimes. So that's really relieving.
My
to
issue,
be able to
I
see
was a
him.
little afraid that he might have landed on his head on the down, but
Or
nothing.
you can twist your ankle or
Yep.
something there. So that's
All
to
good
see.
for Kiner, and the punt team almost blocked. The hands team for Valley just on its way. And this is the first no return for Valley as it's downed by number 77, Daxon Kasa. So Tigers now with 9 seconds left in the third quarter, and they're up by 34.
Well, that punt just kind of, it came down and then it just bounces straight up. And it bounced straight up a couple times and bounced back a little bit. But that was kind of a funny little bounce there.
Yeah, good on the hands team for not trying to catch it,
Getting
because
out of the way.
Urbandale came at them quickly. It was the quickest I've seen Urbandale move up the field all night, and their punts haven't been all that long, so it's nice to see them get up there quickly, and it stopped the Tigers from returning it. So Fitz now still in the backfield for the Tigers, hands it off. It's a fake. He keeps it. He's got space. only needed to beat 3 guys, but the 2 that were next to him able to recall him to the ground. But that's a great pickup. He goes from about the 40 to the 35, so a pickup of 25 on that one. And the ball spotted at the 37. 1st and 10 for it, and that's our 3rd quarter. So 3 full quarters have been played. Tigers up 34-0. We got 1 more left to go. And 12 minutes left to play, and Valley feels like it's all for them the rest of the way. And just taking a glimpse at this crowd, Valley student section hasn't diminished at all. It's still as packed as it was to start. And Urbandale came in with only a couple rows filled with students, and that has been cut in half. They started with about 7 full rows, and now if you moved everybody to fill a row, you'd have about 3 to 4. Which is,
they didn't have a great crowd.
No, they did not.
I mean, it's not like it's a rivalry game. It's not. You're not going to see the same kind of crowd as you saw for the Dowling game or something, where that whole away section is just packed and you can't even breathe in there. But
it's also it's also a decent drive for Urbandale, and give it to them. You don't want to spend too late. It's about 9 o'clock, and it's about a 25-minute drive to Urbandale. So it's been a rough game for the Jayhawks. Not so much for the Tigers, who have been feeling themselves all game. And we can see it here with the Fitz Carpenter 25-yard rush for a big pickup inside Jayhawk territory.
Well, I know it's 34-0, but this feels like it's important, especially for Fitz Carpenter, because, I mean, we saw him come in limited minutes.
Yeah, and DeGroot has had some health issues all game.
And his physical nature, too. Like, we could see, even if DeGroot stays mostly healthy, we could see him come in a couple plays for little packages and stuff.
Now we can motion inside. It's a handoff, but faked again. Fitz keeps running, using his legs. Finally brought down at the 25-yard line, a pickup of 12 on that one. And Fitz Carpenter, he reminds me a lot of a young Drake DeGroot.
For sure.
And I don't even think it's crazy to say, because of the way they're both built, they both have that 6-foot frame, both the skinnier guys, but they have a lot of muscle on them, and then can use those legs very effectively. And Fitz is just getting out of the pocket, keeping his eyes up, and finding the holes and not going down. 1 to the left, 2 to the right. It's a quick throw, caught but dropped. It hit him low and unable to retain it on that one.
Well, I mean, Carpenter, he's a junior this year, and DeGroot's obviously a senior. So Fitz is likely, unless something changes, somebody transfers in, whatever, unless something weird happens, he's likely going to be the starter next year. So getting these in-game reps, I really like to see. He's gotten a lot of time, and he's been able to throw the ball a couple times, and he's shown his legs and built up some confidence.
So Fitz again, and just takes it himself, makes one man miss, makes another, just keeps moving it forward. And I thought he was taken down to the 20, but kept moving.
I mean, he had guys all around him.
All around him, but those big guys up front get behind him and start shoving. It's going to bring up a second. Nope, first down. It was going to be a second and inch. Not even inches, inch. But they do give it to him. So a first down at the 15-yard line, officially inside goal line. And, yeah, you should be excited for Fitz Carpenter. He's showing how well of a player he is, and you're going to be calling his name a lot next year. Yeah. And now it's a handoff. Tries to get outside. That was number 12, Braden Schobert.
Well,
no, it was not. It was Nephaius Akua. With all those twos. It's the twos that get me.
Man,
I see a 12, I see a 2. And I see 12 or 22, and I can't really tell. But yeah, it was Nefarious QR. In this type of game, it is hard with all these new guys coming in and coming out. I apologize for all these name messes up, but it's Nefarious QR who gets the handoff. One guy to the left. It's a motion for Fleming, and now it's backhanded off to a QR 22. We've seen a couple different guys come in for running back. Sam Sigmalia and Nathan Acuar have come in for Cohen Shelton and Blake Dornkamp. So it's nice to see all these guys, because one of my issues coming into the season was the depth of running back. I didn't see a lot of depth coming out with Darius Mason, the senior guy last year graduating, but it's good to see a lot of depth now. And another handoff to a QR, and the QR bullies his way forward, getting those extra yards after contact. And do they give him the first down? And they do. First down. A QR bullies his way forward and gets a nice pickup of 3. And so right at the first down, but exactly what he needs. So it's a 1st and goal on the 5-yard line.
I believe it's Nathias Acuar, I think.
Nathias Acuar.
I'm pretty sure. He's only a sophomore, so this guy could be the future at running back in a couple of years.
Yes, he can. 2 to the left, 1 to the right. Acuar in the backfield, but it's kept by Fitz. A great design run, and that is Fitz Carpenter's first career touchdown as a varsity player. Big props to that man right there. Keeps it himself and gets the touchdown.
Well, that's just big to see. Like, plays like that, it builds up confidence for your future career. And it shows, like, he's had a lot of moxie, pep in his step. And he's going out there and running guys over, moving the pile. And I love to see it.
Yes, we do. And the kick is up, and it's good. Yes, it is. So it's a 41-0 ball game. 9 minutes left in this one. And the Tigers up very big, 41-0. And at this point, although there's still 9 minutes left to play, it's hard not to look forward for both of these teams. And there's a lot left to look forward to for both of these teams. Urbandale, it's hard not to look at this game with dismay, but they have shown a lot of fight despite struggling a lot. They have shown a lot of strength, and I think one of the strengths is when they had the center open, that middle of the field open, Renan was able to find those guys that he needed to get, and they got a lot of yardage. So coming out of this one, they do have a little bit of a tune-up game, but it will be a little bit of a drive. They have to drive all the way to Cedar Rapids and play Cedar Rapids Jefferson next week for Jefferson's homecoming, and then they're back at home against Centennial in 2 weeks. For Valley, you got to pull it up, but they got a rough one next week. Although Waukee has struggled this year and 0-2 on the season, they have to go inside Waukee and play them after this one next week. And then they're still on the road against Indianola before finally coming back home for a homecoming night game against Centennial.
I mean, for this Valley team, like, especially this year, you came oh so close to winning the state championship game. That's a game that a lot of Valley fans
could have gone either way.
You want to forget that ending. That was not a fun ending to that game. but like, this team has shown so much potential, and they have their eyes on the mountaintop once again this year.
Yes, they do. It's a handoff again and stuffed. This Valley defense came in like a swarm of bees and got him quickly. It was Josh Tarpey on the run, handed off by Mason.
Man, and even the second string, probably even some third string guys in here now, they're still really plugging up those run lanes, and Urbandale is just getting absolutely nothing right now.
No, they cannot get anything going right now. And it's another handoff. Not a handoff, it's a throw. Caught. And that's a first down for the Jayhawks. And it isn't Julian Mason, it's the senior backup, the third string, Jackson Keith, a senior quarterback who is now in for the Jayhawks. Comes over the PA, and that was the one number I could see. Finally, I can see a 12. Unfortunately, it's for Urbandale and not when I needed to see it for Valley.
I mean, better late than never, right?
That's a great way.
Yeah.
I really like your optimism, Cole. And I think Urbandale could use a little bit of that. They do get a little bit with the first down on their own 34-yard line. Down by 41, 7:30 left in this game. And it's a run, and he's moving. And finally taken out of bounds for a gain of 9. So it's going to bring up a second and first down.
It took the chains like forever, and they didn't really want to make a call for
No, they
a
did
while.
not. I really wish the chain game was more on it, because this is like the 5th time tonight when it was like second and close. It could have been a first or something, and they finally respond.
The spot was like right on the first down marker.
And there's a quick substitution. What a hit. That's a late hit. Deep throw. Is that caught?
I think it is.
What a catch.
That was a
Jackson
beautiful throw.
Keith, who was hit hard late. I'm surprised there was no flag.
Pressure right up the middle, and
Yeah.
then he just floats it up there, hits him right in the breadbasket. That was an incredible throw, getting hit immediately, and just puts it on the money. That was nice.
And the way we've been talking about it all night, the center was wide open. It was a wide open middle of the field, and that's how the wide receiver was able to get open. Keith now not shaken up at all, handed off to Tarpey. Tarpey moving and stopped inside. Good for a first down. But it is going to be a couple yards short. It's going to be first and goal now after that deep pass brings them into the red zone. So 5:54 left on this clock, and there's a hurt Jayhawk on the field. So it's going to bring up first and goal on the 3-yard line. 5:54 left in this ball game. Tigers lead 41, but Urbandale, the closest they've been all night, and this is a legitimate close. Last time they got this close, a flag backed them all the way up to the 40-yard line. This time they are within the 3, but unfortunately it's a hurt guy on the field for them.
Well, it's interesting to see if Urbandale can punch it in, because this deep in the red zone, especially like within 5 yards, this is the hardest place to move the ball on the field, because the defense is all compressed down, and they can really pin their ears back on the run. They don't have to have that safety help over the top. They don't have to worry about that deep ball.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see if Urbandale can move the ball against what I'm guessing will be a heavy box expecting the run.
Yes, it is, and that was number 67. I need to talk to these Urbandale parents. What are they naming these kids? Van Hasnen Sunlam. Van Hassan Sunlam. I hope I got that right.
It's Vanson Sunlam.
Probably is. Vanson Sunlam was the hurt Jayhawk, but it's Tarpey who's spinning in and out of the Tigers' grasp, but taken down at about the 1-yard line. So now it's 2-yard line officially, and now it's time for Valley. With their backs against the line, can they keep the scoreless game? Can they keep the shutout going?
At least just hold them to a field goal here.
It unfortunately would be a pity touchdown at this point with so little time. It's hard to imagine a world where Urbandale comes back.
Oh,
but
yeah.
2nd and 2. Man in the backfield. It's Tarpey alongside Jackson Keith. Keith hands it off to Tarpey. Tarpey's got some side, but taken down early.
all the way back to the 5 now. He was just...
And that time was actually Gyrate Gay.
Man.
These numbers, you have 14 and 15 as the 2 running backs for Urbandale. But, yeah, you were talking about how Gyrate Gay, he tried to go that outside
went
way.
immediately outside because there was nothing doing up the middle. And
He had a spot. I think if he would have cut earlier, he would have had a singular hole that maybe could have got into the end zone, but unable to do so. And that is a very unfortunate play for Gyrate Gay because it's actually a loss of 4. So it's 3rd and 6 now. Well, 3rd and goal in the 6. And what a play for Valley. And that is the big man on the D-line. Number 66, I think. Yeah, number 66, Anthony Marchand, the senior defensive lineman, comes out. He was on the ground, but able to trip up the ankles of the quarterback, Jackson Keith.
held him to a field goal.
And yep, this is where they are going to hold him to a field goal. So it's number 48. No, 41, Logan Stutter, the kick, and flag. And it's going to be most likely a false start. Which, why on a kick would you need a false start?
I mean,
Oh, it's on defense.
interesting that they stopped the play there.
So it's a defense infraction, I think, because they pointed to the defensive side. But it's not really going to matter because it's not a deep enough flag. It's only a 5-yard penalty. So it moves them to the 4th and 6. Still 4th down. The kicking team is still out, though, so that's not going to go for it.
Yep, just get that goose egg off the scoreboard at this point. Just chip
Exactly.
shot field goal.
So Logan Stutter, the kick, and another flag.
Whistle. Man. It's another offside, man.
What are they doing?
Now, if you're Urbandale, do you think about
No.
going for this?
Nobody has moved from the Urbandale sideline. I wonder if Valley isn't like trying to bait them so that they keep the score list.
I mean, I think it's just dumb mental error.
Yeah. So
Losing your focus, you're
third strings are out,
you're up big, you lose your focus a little bit.
and the kick is up, and it's good. So the goose egg gets wiped off of the scoreboard, and that is Logan Stutter able to get the 3 points on the board. So Urbandale will come out of this without getting shut out. Good for the Jayhawks, but now 3 minutes and 5 seconds left on the clock. And the Tigers, with the 35-point or over rule, can now let the clock time out a little bit faster.
I think you need
You need at least one or two more first down.
Because I highly doubt that Urbandale is going to be calling any timeouts. Like if you do, I'd be stunned. You're down 38.
They do have 3 timeouts, but I don't think 3 timeouts can turn into 38 points on this one. The Jayhawks put up a tough fight, but now I feel like their hopes are intertwined with their student section, because when it came out, it was about half full, and now it's moved to only a singular line, not even in the stands. It's now just lined up against the fence. Unfortunate turn of events for the Jayhawks, but they will kick it off to the Tigers, most likely for one more time tonight. The hand is raised, and the kick is up, and it's a short one. And the kick won't go out of bounds. Oh, no.
Oh, boy. No one got on top of it.
Oh, who's got it? Valley gets fortunate and retains the ball.
Man,
That could have been scary, because the thing that Urbandale waited for the ball, because Valley realized, oh, wait, the ball's not going to go out of bounds, because that's what it looked like. The ball landed about half a foot away from the Urbandale sideline, but it stayed in. It bounces to the right side of the field if you're moving from left to right, which Valley is, and it stays up, and then the ball almost bounces into the hands of the return team, and Urbandale can almost jump on top of it, but Valley keeps the ball and jumps onto it.
And those are the things that you want to get ironed out in these late moments. That's what these backup reps are for.
Yes, it is. So Fitz now hands it off, hit hard. And Matthias Acuar gets the carry and gets about a yard. I can't believe it. A whole minute's wind down. So there's less than 2 minutes now in high school, like we mentioned last time. There is no 2-minute warning, unlike in college and in NFL. So 2 minutes won't do anything but keep the clock winding down. And that 35-point mercy rule is now coming into effect a lot more sooner because the clock has not stopped since Acuar went down. And it's just another quick throw. Acuar taken out of bounds. That's a late shove. They're just going to call it nothing. And the clock keeps winding down even though he went out of bounds.
It was number 10, Ben Fleming.
Ben Fleming, the junior defensive back, who also is getting some reps in at wide receiver, just making sure his hands are staying active. So 3rd and 6 now. And they can let this time clock wind down. 16 seconds left, and we are now under a minute. Valley leads 41-3. You can hear Valley student section chanting, "I believe that we have won," and I believe they are correct. So 2 seconds left. Fitz will throw it. Why? Yes, because they're up by 35. Clock will keep running, so incomplete pass doesn't matter.
Let's
and
see.
that there is. There's no separation. It's almost exactly the same.
The play clock.
Time clock and play clock.
A half second.
So
before, so they
we'll
might
see
have to
if
get
they
one more
make
play
them. But it's winding down. At this point, you can just count it down. Under 10 seconds. And both teams are walking to their respective sidelines. And
So it looks like they will
Swenson,
take it.
the coach, is going for the handshake. And that will do it. 000's on the clock for the second time tonight, which means it's the end of the ball game. And Valley gets a much-needed response win at home after the loss to Northwest. A dominant performance by the Tigers on both sides of the field. And an interception late in that first half keeps the momentum on the Tigers side up by 27. And they just kept that momentum with them the rest of the game as they win 41-3. Urbandale gets a late field goal in the fourth quarter. Some key moments for this game. Fitz Carpenter, the junior backup quarterback, gets his first career touchdown for the Tigers. And it's just an overall great game for Valley as they win it 41-3. Last minute takes for you. What does Valley need to keep doing, especially going into Waukee next week? It's going to be a hostile environment, and they need to win big just to keep their standing up in this 5A rankings.
Well, I think I was really impressed with the run game. Again, it got DeGroot comfortable early, and that's really what got Valley up big early. I mean, they got up 20-0, and this is a team that Valley is a much better team than Urbandale, and you knew that coming in this game, and you know that you just can't give Urbandale hope. And they got a big lead early, and they just kind of sat on it. They just run the clock out, and they don't give Urbandale any chance of having any even glimmer of hope because they got up 14-0.
Yep.
Like in the first 7 or 8 minutes.
Yeah, and I think the big key for Valley's defense was the fact that they stopped them 3 times on 3rd and nothing. It was 3 and outs to start it up, which brought the Tigers to a 20-0 lead after the missed extra point by Conley Harn. But either way, Hahn responded with a couple of field goals late into the game, and he didn't miss an extra point the rest of the way. The rest of the offense was lights out, and by halftime, Fitz Carpenter, like we mentioned, comes in, gets his first touchdown as a varsity Tiger. And then the rest is history. Jaden McGregory gets an interception to close out the first half. And this is just a great morale boost. As we mentioned, they go into Waukee next week. It's going to be a hostile environment, and it's also going to be a much-needed win to keep them up in those CIML standings. Urbandale, on the other hand, they got a tough one at Cedar Rapids, Jefferson. And like I said, it's at Jefferson, so it's going to be a 2.5-hour bus ride over to Cedar Rapids. Unfortunate for them, and holy cow, the guys are starting to flip. The Tigers are. So we'll wrap it up here. Thank you all for listening right here on 88.7 KWDM The Point. I'm Ian Nelson alongside Cole Sunderman. The Valley Tigers, your Valley Tigers, win it big, 41-3 against Urbandale. Thank you all for tuning in. We'll be back in 3 weeks for homecoming against St. Kitts Centennial. But keep listening right here on 88.7 KWDM The Point. Signing off.
You're listening to 88.7 KWDM The Point. Des Moines' #1 modern rock station is owned by the West Des Moines Community School District and operated from Valley High School. Once again, this is 88.7 KWDM The Point.